Success is not a destination, it's not a journey. It just simply is, and it is yours. Hi, how you doing today? My name is Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, an international best-selling author of 21 books and counting, and I have the delightful privilege of working with people in every aspect of the marketing and the creation of their books, the concept, the writing, the publishing, the marketing to bestseller, and all the things that come beyond. It's such an honor to be able to work with the people that I get to work with, and even more so, the millions upon millions of people that the books that they've written, the lives that they've touched. Such a blessing and an honor. I'm so glad to be here with you today. I want you to know success is yours. That's right. You were born to succeed. You were created on purpose with success as your destiny. In fact, you began the whole concept of living in life as a winner. It was the very specific sperm and the very specific moment in time that your insemination started and happened, and you won the very uniquely, amazingly perfect you was the winner of the very first race of your life. And you've been winning. Now, I know it doesn't always feel that way. Trust me, I'm right there in the same ballpark with you. Often we look at our lives and all we can identify is failure. We see the trees and we don't notice how beautiful the forest is. We breathe in the fresh, clean air that a forest provides. And instead of feeling the amazing refreshment of that and marveling at the wonder of it, we find ourselves feeling suffocated because of the even claustrophobic because of the pressing in of these trees against us, of life, of circumstances, of all the things. Here's the truth. Many of you, and I have so many of you that I know that have been through horrendous things. And I don't ever want to be the one to tell you that the stuff that you've been through, the abuses, the harm, the hatred, the evil, the awful things that you've been through, I don't in any way ever want to diminish that. But I also need you to understand that you were on purpose. You were not an accident. I love how T.D. Jakes says it. He says, God was so invested, so needed you on this planet, that regardless of what good or bad, useful or useless people they were, he brought together at an exact moment in time. I'm even going to go further than TD and say in the exact microsecond in time, brought those two people together that were the only possible way, the only possible combination of exactly you winning. That at the moment of your insemination, God directed, allowed, and guided the very specific two parts of the combination of the DNA that made you exactly you. Even one of the sperm being different in that insemination would have made you slightly different. But you were so necessary, so mandatorily important that even if the two people were completely two people who should never have been together. I love my parents. I love them both dearly. Even now, with my father having passed and gone to heaven, I love him and I miss him so. And my mom, who we've just moved in here with us, she's a wonderful lady. She's my mommy. She always will be. But the truth of the matter is, as much as I love them, and this isn't me talking behind their back, they've heard me say this before. My parents are two people who got together and were married for 44 years before they got divorced, that should have probably never even been in the same space. Definitely should never have dated, and absolutely should never have gotten married. So different, so wonderfully unique individuals. But here's the thing. I'm glad they did, because I like existing. I like being around, and I'm grateful for it. And sometimes all we can do in the dire circumstances, and I know some of you have gone through so much worse. I had wonderful, amazing parents. Just because they weren't compatible with each other didn't make them wonderful individuals, or didn't keep them from being the wonderful individuals they were. I think I said that wrong the first time. I love it when I hear myself say things that I know are just grammatically incorrect. But it was so important that they got together. And I know some of you, the two people that got together, maybe they abandoned you from the moment of your birth. Maybe they were horrendous to one another or you. Maybe the abuses you've experienced, even possibly since the moment of your birth, have been uh, horrifying on a level that most of us would never even be able to comprehend, let alone understand or even describe. I get that. And I know that happens. And I'm so sorry for you. I truly am that you had to go through that. But I hope through all of this you can see the amazing purpose that is you. That there was, even in that most horrible of circumstances, a necessity for you. You were mandatory. You were a success. You were on demand, on purpose, necessary, real, live, and magical from the very start, and you still are now. No matter what you've gone through, no matter what people have put you through, and even no matter the things that you put yourself through, you're good. And success is yours. It's right there. It's happening all around you all the time. Most of the time, it isn't a matter of the success not being there. It's a matter of our vision. Like I talked about the other day, whatever you see is exactly what you'll see. Maybe you need to go back and listen to that one again. Most of the time, our reality is honed by what we accept versus the possibility that could be. And that's, again, not to diminish some of the things you're going through, but often, even in those, I think of the story of the two little boys, twin boys with opposite personalities. One was never happy about anything, and the other one was delighted always. And a psychiatrist put the two little boys in a room. The little boy that was always grumpy, he surrounded him with all of the things every child could ever imagine, every toy, every snack, everything that he could ever possibly want. And the little boy that was always positive put him buried in, up above his waist, in manure. And he left them there for a while and then came back to check on them. First, he went into the room with the little boy that was always grumpy, surrounded by all of the best of everything. And he was in the middle of the floor, screaming angrily, tears running down his face. And the psychiatrist asked him, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Everything's wrong. There's nothing right in this world. Look at this mess. All of these toys are broken. And this food isn't what I wanted." Even in the midst of being given everything his heart had ever desired, he didn't see it. So then the psychiatrist went into the room with the always positive little boy. And he found him in there, giggling, laughing, joking, flinging manure all over the place. The psychiatrist was afraid that he had broken the little boy, damaged him in a way that he would never be able to be fixed. And he asked the little boy, "What are you doing?" And the little boy said, "With all this manure in here, there's got to be a pony around here somewhere." It's all about what we see and what we see. It's about understanding that success already is yours. You began in success. You began a victor, a winner. on purpose and intentional. You were born to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask or even think. Think about that for a moment. Exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask for, all that you can ever even think of. I was talking to my buddy Craig the other day. We were talking about that specific verse. And then we had, the conversation moved on as it does, especially with Craig and I. And something came up about $1 trillion. Now, I don't remember exactly the specifics, and they don't really matter. But we were talking about, and in talking about it, we both could realistically, legitimately, statistically see the possibilities of $1 trillion. And I stopped, went back to our earlier conversation, and I said, look, Craig, you can think, you can ask for $1 trillion. That means you're destined for exceedingly abundantly above that. It's kind of mind-blowing. Think of all the best of the things that you can think of, and then allow your mind to go to a place where everything that you can think of is barely a scratch on the tip of the surface of everything that's for you, because success is yours. I'm not talking about it in some kind of woo-woo, chant boogie woogie till the sky falls down, as the comedian once said. I'm talking about taking a hold of life. Some of you have probably heard the interview I did with the folks in the book, How Thoughts Become Things. It was kind of a follow-up, an unofficial, if you will, follow-up to the book and the movie The Secret. And every single one of them agreed on one thing in there. And they said, oh, yes, absolutely. We believe manifesting. We believe it with our whole hearts. But we also know that once we go beyond manifesting, there's also action. We don't just sit there and wait for a bag of money to drop out of the sky. We do wholeheartedly everything we know how to do. We work on our mindset so that our mind is capable of receiving the thing that the universe wants to manifest to us, the things that God has in store for you. We work on our body so that we can be there when we get there. We work on ourselves. We do the work. We put our hands on the things that we can do while it's called today, to be the best us that we can be, so that we can make the difference in this world. It was such an amazing concept. I think I interviewed like 5 or 6 of them from that book over the course of a little bit less than a 2-month period. And it's so important to take that into mind and to really be able to embrace the success is yours, and then take the action that a successful person would take. Now, some of that can feel a little overwhelming. Now I've just told you that the exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or even think is yours for the taking. And it feels like too much, doesn't it? So I want to give you an easy, simple step to do that you can do right now. Ask yourself, what can I do to be the best me right here, right now, today? Today is all we've got. I encourage you to take all of the things from the past and let them be in the past. Ask for or send out the apology for any of the things you missed it. Forgive, because forgiveness is for you, it's not for them. Release the chains of that person and release them out into the world to whatever the world has for them. And let yourself be free. Let go of the worry of what may be coming, what's coming up, and all of those kind of things. And just simply live today. Maximize today. Be all that you can be today. As I talk about in my Momentum course, Momentum is so powerful, and it just takes the tiniest of things. One little thing that shifts the momentum and changes the entire course of the whole game of your life. I hope today will be a momentum shifter for you, that'll let you stand up, speak up, take notice, and do the thing that only you can do today, whatever that might be. Even if that's resting for tomorrow, that's a good thing to do on a Sunday as well. Whatever it is, maximize while it's called today. Live your life thriving and truly free, exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or even think, because success is yours. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And then until we're together again next time, you have a great week.